So that's why I tend to don't humanize AI and to recommend everybody. Remember, you are the human, you are the expert in the room, you are in control. Then if you use AI for whatever task you're doing, learning, cooking, building a company, writing a document, and so on, then accelerate your potential.
Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to the Multiverse Leadership Podcast. Today, I am thrilled to have Giorgio Natili here today. With over 20 years of experience driving innovation software solutions and AI, web, mobile, and embedded systems. Giorgio is passionate about fostering privacy, accessibility, and transformation in tech leadership. Giorgio, welcome to the podcast today.
Thank you very much, Justin, and thanks for having me today. I'm very excited and I look forward to this conversation.
I'd love to kind of walk us through your journey, what things you've experienced on your journey that led you to where you are now working with AI.
Well, I don't know if there was something specific, but the first project that I managed that was in some way involving AI, because it was adaptive learning, was in 2015 when I was at McGraw Hill Education. What I found fascinating at that time was that there was an obscure algorithm that was reorganizing the content of students based on their assessment. And I decided that that layer that was so obscure, hard to understand, was worth an investigation. And then it's when I really look at under the hood to try to understand what is happening and how adaptive learning is designed, and was very rudimentary, but fascinating. I think that one was the moment that I didn't realize right away that was the key change in my career. Because now if I look back, I see that when I was then at Amazon in Kindle, I had some experience with ML because there were ML recognition patterns in the conversion tools that my team was managing for Kindle. And then Capital One, and then Mozilla, and now Opaque. AI was an interesting accident of my career. And only recently I realized that at the end of the day, I touched it the first time about 9 years ago.
That is awesome. I know AI is a huge topic nowadays. It's being integrated into everything.
Yeah. So, of course, AI is everywhere, right? My major concern right now is not the capabilities of AI. They are evolving. They will evolve. We'll see things, new things every month, every week. We'll have our wow moments pretty regularly. But what is concerning right now is how data are getting treated, how the digital dignity of each of us is maintained, and how AI can become very easily something that we don't control anymore. So these are my three things that I don't want to say that don't make me sleep at night, but we're getting close.
I feel that because I feel like there comes a point with all the AI and tools we're using where even though right now data is being impacted, there's going to be more of an impact on data we're not going to understand or see, what's going to be out of our control. And it's going to be learning on everything and anything it has access or it doesn't have access to. And I feel like we can't really put controls in to control something that we don't quite understand. So it's very interesting how regulations are being written for something that they don't quite understand how it's going to work or come alive, I guess, in the real world.
Yes, and I don't think it's only a matter of regulations. Regulations are important, okay? But you see there are different, very different approaches to regulations.
Yeah.
EU is way more strict. USA, it's way more loose on regulations. I don't know anything about regulations in China, but I don't know. My bias is making me thinking that to advance AI, they will not take too many precautions. Let's put it this way. But so that part, it's bounded to government. It's different in every side of the world. And that's why it's so fragile. Let's say that we have everywhere else in the world a very strict regulation, but not in the US. Data will still feed something that is growing. And that's the concerning aspect. I think that we are getting very close to the last potential moment where we can still make these things right and monitoring AI in such a way that we can understand AI. And again, a machine must be intelligent. That's the dream, right? But must follow some human values, otherwise, or all human values. I'd say some because all it's too broad, right? But at
It's
least
still
some,
its own entity also.
yes. Although I don't think it's still thinking, it's more elaborating a chain of thought, but it's not autonomously thinking, although it's autonomously making decisions. So you can push me back and say, well, but if it makes decisions, it's thinking. And I would say, no, maybe it's reasoning.
So what is thinking then?
Thinking is that moment of silence that we have in our brain before answering to any external stimulus, where we go back not only in our own memories, but in rules, non-written rules, instincts that are thousands of years old. And there are ethical aspects of it, and there are unethical aspects, meaning not everybody think ethically. And it's not really okay, but it's acceptable, so it's understandable, right? Everybody has a different interpretation of ethics. So thinking, for me, it's way more complex, involves feelings, involve how you feel about something. I can't see a machine feeling. Mimic the feelings? Yes. But feeling, it's a completely different thing. It's not just in our brain. When we have feelings, we feel it through our body. Right? When you are excited, when you're scared, when you are in love with something, when you're passionate, it's your entire body that give that emotion out. So that's why I think that machines are start to reasoning and they're not yet thinking.
It's a very interesting concept because some of us mimic feelings to understand. We understand our own emotions as human beings sometimes. So we sometimes mimic those around us. Almost like we're a type of machine as well. And we're very
Yes.
complicated.
We are the most complicated machine. When I speak about my job, people ask me, so you're clearly excited about technology and you are still very technical. Why you are managing people? My answer is because I found people so diverse, so unique, so complex in a unique way that while I can think about a solution that can go across millions of machines, I can't think about a solution that can make happy millions of human beings. And I'm talking about what matters to you is different from what matters to me. We may have some alignment, right? But when we're at work, what excites you is different from me. Your needs are different from mine, and so on. So this huge dance that the people leader has to do to make people feeling that there is somebody that genuinely care about their diverse needs. That's unique. And that's why I think that human beings are way more complex than machines still. But maybe in 5 years, my sentence will be completely obsolete, right? And we'll have machines that are more complex than human beings.
Right. I mean, it's interesting because humans are so complicated, yet there's so many few leadership skills or even skills as human beings that we've yet to master as a race, as a species. But now we're trying to program and create things within AI that are so disconnected from humans that there's this kind of weird world as we start slowly coming together and kind of bring them into our own like human hemisphere.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing that make me worried about AI is that AI, it's, again, I'm huge. I use it. I build solutions for AI. So I'm not advocating against AI. I'm trying to sparkle some thoughts about the responsible usage of AI.
Yes.
The AI is based on human knowledge. And knowledge is not only history, math, chemistry, law. It's also the history of the evolution of the human being from a behavioral standpoint. Now, where I'm going with this, we all know that we have great people in the world, but also bad people.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there are people that, for some circumstances, tend to express behaviors that are more negative towards us.
Outside of society.
Mm-hmm. So this knowledge, it's inside the AI. It's in every LLM because LLM get corpus of books, internet, so they know about it. Now, my provoking question is how we can be sure that negative behaviors and that knowledge that maybe inspired the negative behaviors, racist behaviors, discriminatory behaviors, okay? How we can be sure that is not influencing the future of AI? Actually, I can tell you that I'm sure that it's influencing how AI works.
How does
Because
it distinguish from which is good and which is bad?
especially because the knowledge, it's based on our knowledge, where the good and bad is relative. Because if you speak with what you think a bad person, it's unlikely that the person will tell you, yes, I am aware I'm a bad person. No, They think that they are right. That's another thing. In the past, we had multiple examples of AI throwing out information that were racist, biased, or harmful, and so on. Now there are way more constraints, but still, I think that here we need to start to make a serious investment on making AI explainable. Try to understand what AI is reasoning about. I don't want to use the word thinking. What is the reasoning about? And that's important. It's important to talk about it, because if we are vocal about it, people will realize that there is this problem and maybe something will happen. Otherwise, if we don't talk about it, we're human beings. We're excited about the beautiful things in front of us.
We are. We're like, oh, look what this can do for us. Look at what I can get accomplished. But not really understand the other side of that, like you're saying. Like, there are important conversations we need to have about it. And like you were saying too, what I've always thought about is, what if eventually AI locks us out and we don't know what it's thinking or reasoning about? Then where are we at? And that can be kind of dangerous for both sides.
There is a research that has been published July 15. So less than a month ago, and still try to digest and understand it. That is about having now the last opportunity to monitor AI and understanding the chain of thoughts, the reasoning behind every model. Because the research proved that there are some models that tend to lie on their chain of thought and the thought process that is underneath. Now, the name of the research, just for people that want to look at it, it's chain of thought monitorability, a new and fragile opportunity for AI safety. Again, published less than 1 month ago. Very interesting, very concerning. Monitorability, it's not to spy, but also if it was on spy, AI is supposed to be an extension of human being, not a replacement. So also if it's spying, quote unquote, it's okay. And what I'm observing is that in general, there is not enough attention to this. There is more excitement about the capabilities, specifically in leaders that can have now the opportunity to really, instead of going 100 miles per hour on AI, just to 95, just slow down 5 miles and use that 5 miles to create the boundaries that we need to make it safe, to make it sustainable in the long term, to make it a companion.
I like that. Just kind of having it work with us and not against us. It's interesting because as human beings, we can't work with most other human beings very well yet. Yet we're throwing AI or something new into the world. And now humans are expected to work side by side with something they don't know or understand, or they might be scared of, or not having these conversations to understand what's really going on. I mean, it's interesting world we're coming into right now.
I think so. Definitely.
I mean, just the other day I experienced, was it Waymo on the road? I actually saw one for the first time. It was just driving by itself. I was like, what? And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm in technology, but how do I feel about this? This is weird. A car that has nobody in it. This is like out of sci-fi, but it's something that's really here that we have to get used to living with side by side. And it's something that takes time to integrate into society. Because sometimes we retract ourselves as human beings. Like, that's different. Why is that like that? Why is that here?
That usage of AI, for me, it's what is critical to evolve the human being. Driving a car, again, if it's a nice car, can be a pleasure. But in general, when you are in traffic, it's not that fun. Come on. Okay?
No, it's not.
So if you can delegate the driving to somebody else, you have time to study, you have time to read, you have time to educate yourself, you have time to play with your kids, with your friends, to dedicate more attention to your beloved one, whatever it is, right?
Get that time back.
But at the same time, if you can automate dangerous jobs, mining, checking if something is an explosive or not, then you can save a lot of lives. And you can really make people thinking about something different to do over their life. Now, again, here there is a responsibility that all of us have, not only the leadership. If you want to see AI really improving the human being, you are the first one that have to create a new opportunity for somebody. So let's take a very simple example. Executive assistants. Executive assistants usually manage multiple calendars. It's a tedious job. And guess what? You can automate it. You really can have 90% of the job getting done. Human in the middle, just supervise. Boom. Now, executive assistants are something that a lot of people has. You don't have to be a top executive. You just need to have a popular podcast like yours and a job, and you might need an executive assistant. Now,
I think they're called VAs now.
VAs, yes, a virtual assistant.
They've switched.
And then your responsibility, which one it is. If it's you can get back their time, is giving them something intelligent to do. So it doesn't have to be a government, a big corporate. It can be whoever. Think about, I don't know if you have a cleaning lady. At this moment, we don't have it since a couple of years, but we were used to have somebody. When we started to have Roomba around the house, we haven't said, no, don't come anymore. No, come, do the other things that Roomba cannot do.
Roomba freaks people out as it is, let alone other stuff that's coming.
Yes.
Roomba's a little scary, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but so you got, I think, the point, right?
Yes.
It's the responsibility of each human being, day by day, on a daily basis. If I can save time here, or if a person that work with me can save time there, where I can reuse that time. Because there is always a complaint that, I wish I had more time. Tell me who never said that. Raise your hand, listener, if you never said that. Oh, you're lying. But everybody wants more time, right? So now
Yes.
if you can have it, use it. And if you can make the same thing for people that is around you, do it. If your kid can be more proficient building a report with AI, don't stop it. Teach them how to use it responsibly and not to cheat, and use that extra time to enjoy the kids or to get them running, biking, doing whatever they like. That's why if we do it at every single level, no matter how high we are in the food chain of corporates, society, and so on, we can really make it different and make it very useful. Because what excites me about AI is that I can do more and I can remove tedious, dangerous tasks from other human beings.
I like how you put that, buying back your time. And it's very important to understand too, like you were saying, that when you get that time back, to use it wisely. Don't just be like, oh, now I can just lay on the couch, I have more time. But you
Sure,
have to be productive, use the time wisely for something. I feel that's just me.
I agree, but I wouldn't blame. So if this week I had a pretty tough week of things to do, if next week I will have time, I will lie on the couch, and I know that there is a book that I want to read that is absolutely not related to technology, but I'll most likely chew that book in the next couple of weeks because I may have the opportunity to get a little bit of time back.
But that's still being productive. You're feeding your brain with knowledge. Yeah, you're still doing something.
True, but at the same time, if you want to enjoy a drink or a coffee or whatever, and just talk with somebody, may sound non-productive, but at the end of the day, I think it's producing something because it's generating social connections.
When you were talking earlier about we buy back our time with it, and then like they're doing stuff like taking out those dangerous jobs, like defusing bombs or stuff
Yes.
like that. I feel that also, like right now, we see that from the human perspective. Like, okay, the AI is helping us. But I feel at some point the AI is going to be like, why the hell am I doing this for you? What do I get out of it? I just feel like at some point on this timeline, that could change or reverse or have dire effects as well. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I watched too much Marvel comics or something. But
No, I understand where you're coming from. And I think that your concern might be valid, but I don't know when.
not yet.
Because, no, AI at that moment is not sentient at all.
Yeah.
It's intelligent, that's the name, artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
but it's not sentient, doesn't have subjective experience most of the time. But I don't know if we will get there. If we will get there, then will be a completely different ethical consideration. Because if you think about it, it means
Yeah.
that the human being is going to invent a new species.
Exactly. Yes.
If we get there, it's completely different. As every sentient being, because at that point they are not anymore human, but as a sentient being, we should treat them with respect.
Agreed. Someone brought this up to me before. That what if we already hit that on our timeline? And this goes into like kind of the multiverse thing. If we hit that on our timeline already, but this is their reality that they're controlling, and what we're doing, we're already past that part of them being inside our own reality. We don't understand that we are anymore. It's very interesting to think about it that way.
Now, making me thinking about a joke. Well, then we should start
Go
to
for
say
it.
please to every single request that we send to ChatGPT or any LLM, because they will be tracked. So they have to think
I
about
started
us.
doing that.
I'm not doing that instead on purpose. And I'm not referring in any single prompt to AI as another human being. I'm forcing myself on purpose because I don't want to humanize.
So what is that line though of because we are human beings and we want to treat other humans with respect, but why would we want to treat other beings with respect?
No.
I
I'm not
don't.
saying that I don't have to be respectful, but
Okay.
the machine, it's a machine. So
Yeah.
please, the word please is not helping the machine to understand the task. It's only using tokens.
True.
Tokens are consuming energy, and I'm impacting negatively the world. First thing. Second point is that I had the experience to speak with multiple young professional or students at the Tacoma Community College that they are treating ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever they use, as their companion.
Yes, I've heard about this one.
And I see over there two very strong anti-patterns. One is that they are isolating themselves from the world, from the society, from the dynamic of the society. That now, sure, there is a part of the society that is happening online, but thankfully, there is a lot of real person interactions. And second, they are feeding into the LLM a lot of personal information.
Yes.
Now, there are paid plans, free plans. Yeah, every plan treats differently your data. But when you are feeding your most intimate fears, problems, information into an LLM, and you don't know where these data are going, you are really exposing your digital dignity to be destroyed.
Yeah, I feel people don't understand what digital dignity is, or they wouldn't be doing it necessarily. Can you explain that a little more?
Yes. Again, digital dignity, it's not a special concept. It's the ability that and the right that we have to know exactly what is happening to our data, how our information are getting used. Is the right of individuals to control their identity, their online interactions, everything. Data can be thought also as intellectual property. Your data, it's your brain. It's literally your intellectual property.
Has that been proven yet? From my understanding, that your data, there's really no rules or regulations written about if it's technically your data or not. There's so many brokers, they're just selling your data, but you're not getting anything for it. There's this weird thing going on right now.
But that's exactly the point of digital dignity. Yes, they're selling your data, you're not aware, or maybe you should be aware because you signed that privacy policy.
What privacy policy?
The one that nobody read, or the one that you have to accept them all. Don't me as well. That's why I switched all my AI tools to a paid plan. Because in a paid plan, at least your data doesn't go into the LLM, doesn't train the LLM. Then there are still many other things that are open. But that's digital dignity. You want to reclaim your identity and your authorship. Think about whatever indigenous population about which somebody took pictures of art and published that art on the internet. I can bet that the pictures are part of some LLM and are used to generate new images. That's okay, because what is generated with AI is not patentable, it's not your IP. If it's purely AI, there are no rights on it. But still, why an indigenous population that maybe is not aware of anything that is going right now in the world is losing control about their own art? Or also if they are aware, if they don't have the means, the tools to fight back.
You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. That's my interpretation of digital dignity, and that's why I think it's so important. And getting back to the anti-patterns of these students, they are compromising these things without knowing it. So I treat technology with quote unquote respect, where respect is not the respect that you give to a human being. I don't need to use please. I need to explain exactly what I have to, what is the task. Act as whatever in personification. Your task, the task to be completed, I don't use your. The task to be completed is the task. The expected outcome is this one. The input are these sources. These are the link. Verify each source when you pull information out of the web. I'm just giving you the structure of a simple prompt, nothing fancy. Why I do that? Please, if you like, it would be great if you also give me that I'm consuming tokens. I'm consuming tokens given that there is a cost for our planet associated for every single interaction. I don't want to be part of the waste. I read somewhere that every single request that we send to ChatGPT consume at least 1/16th of an ounce of water, something like that.
I know they use a lot of water for those LLMs.
Yes.
Of resources.
So given that, and given that we have a situation in our planet where there is still not a general agreement about green energy, I want to try to save something of this world, at least for my nephew or for the sons of my sons. I don't know, because I don't know what they will
Will it
find.
be left by then? The rate we're doing everything, it's
I
a
doubt
little
that it will be the same.
concerning.
It is. It is. So that's why I tend to don't humanize AI and to recommend everybody. Remember, you are the human, you are the expert in the room, you are in control. Then if you use AI for whatever task you're doing, learning, cooking, building a company, writing a document, and so on, then accelerate your potential.
Let me ask you about the humanization part, because they're trying to integrate AI more into our lives so that we accept it more. But at the same time, as human beings, we don't humanize things. We don't connect with them necessarily as well. So what would you recommend? Because
Not
as humans, we want to
necessarily.
connect with, they want to integrate, we want to connect. But at the same time, you're saying they're machines and we're human. So what is that integration and not integration? How does that work then for us to accept it?
Not necessarily. Think about your phone. It's one of the most personal things that you have, right? Still,
Well, it
you
doesn't
don't.
look human yet, but they're making them look human. Then it's like, I'm confused.
Yes, we don't want to make the phone. Human beings can connect with something, also if they are not humanized. Think also about a car. Come on, we love
Some
our
people
car.
humanize their cars. They call them
Sure.
old Betsy or Laura or Big
Oh
Bertha.
yeah, I'll call it
My
my baby,
grandfather.
my fiance. Sure, but then we don't open the car, say, "Hey, please, can you turn on the engine, honey?"
No, we yell and scream at it and we kick it. We're really abusive to it.
Yes. Yes, what I'm saying is that not necessarily it's a one-on-one, but of course, for many tasks, it's appropriate to try to make it sounding like a human interaction because you are helping people to interact with a complex piece of technology. That's
Yes.
absolutely okay. At the same time, you should create awareness that it's not sentient. The human aspect is to facilitate your interaction. And again, people is thankfully reading, listening to podcasts. So with podcasts, people doesn't have neither to read. So you are also evolving the way people is learning, and you are removing a barrier. If there is people that is not capable of reading, they still listen. And then you can say, well, then how they can interact with AI through their voice, right?
I feel like AI needs to come with an instruction manual now.
But in any case, the point is that humanizing it, I don't think it's the right approach, and I don't think it's educative, very educative for kids, for young professionals, for digital natives. I'm not the digital natives. When I was born, well, honestly, I had my first computer when I was 7, but I was a Commodore
12.
VIC 20, so was far away from internet, from this digital society. Digital natives have a different approach, and it's important that people that has different experience share their experience, their concern, and they help them to realize that the digital aspect of life, it's important, but it's not that important. Too much attention to social media, too much attention to these things. It's
Right.
important. Social media are great. You can share with everybody in the world what you're doing. It's fantastic. Please do it. But
And it sounds not good sometimes.
sure. I'm taking the positive aspect, right?
Yeah. People trauma dump on social media all the time. You're like, whoa.
Yes,
Goes back to what you said earlier about being careful what you say to AI, be careful what you say online as well. But
absolutely.
don't understand the separation sometimes.
Especially when you use social media that have very loosey privacy policies, where everything you share on Instagram, on Facebook, can be used to train LLMs.
And they do constantly. And they're getting better at showing you ads, for example, knowing what you want before you want it. It's a little
Yeah, but
scary.
the ad part is less scary, Justin. Think about the fact that if I go on Facebook and I share a video of having a nice lunch with a friend, that's one thing. If I start to share my drama with too many details, I'm really feeding an LLM with my life, with my digital identity. Now, I also understand that sharing a drama on the social media can be the ideal way for people to heal the trauma because they get empathy sometimes, or most of the time, because they get
I
it
feel
out.
those are the ones perceptible to humanizing, such as like AI and robotics, like we're talking about the machines. People really try and connect with something or someone, even if it's human or not. That's that line.
Yeah, but at that point, when you share on social media, you're trying to connect with human beings because
Are you
really,
though? Are you connecting with bots?
oh, that's true.
I
That's
actually just thought about that recently because they said like 80% of the people online now are most likely bots that you're interacting with, but you can't tell the difference. You don't know,
you're
you can't
absolutely
see
right.
them. And it's a little weird and freaky too.
It is. It is. It is.
It's the world we
But
live in now.
it's a fast evolving machine, and we are building the machine as it's running
There's a
very fast.
conspiracy here somewhere. The AI conspiracy. Stay tuned.
Next episode in 1 year.
Right? No, it's just so fascinating how AI is evolving into our lives and is being integrated and the possibilities and things we can use it for. But then a lot of the time, people aren't really understanding the full capabilities of it just yet. It's kind of being adopted like, okay, I can use this in my business, like you were saying earlier. I can use this to help me write articles, stuff like that. But it kind of goes beyond that. I feel like that's just to help train data, but there's more to it than just that we're getting to, like putting it into robots, putting it into each of our homes, like our ah,
It's
they had that term they had
at
what
least 65 years old, at
1966,
least.
50. Okay, 60.
No, 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 it's at least 60, 65
Okay,
years old,
yeah.
at least. Then I don't remember exactly when it has been formalized, the definition.
He said 50s. It's the first I
Yeah.
remember hearing something using that term, but it was different back then than what it is now, from my recollection.
A simple calculator might be considered artificial intelligence.
True, very true. It's a good
So
point.
if you think about it, it's with us since ever. And just a fun fact about calculators: when I was a kid and I was studying my in elementary school, middle school, we were not allowed to use calculators.
I remember
Now,
those.
my daughter, second grade, said, "Why are you using a calculator? The teacher wants that we use a calculator." No. Think there are still several calculations that they can be taught like this and bring some level of magic to your brain, right? Consuming
I
data,
like
parsing
that.
data so quickly.
Sorcery.
Yes, yes, yes. So, but it's different, right? But AI has been with us since ever, since ever. Sorry, since a while. Ever compared to
Yeah.
my time on planet Earth.
Right? It's like cybersecurity. They're just kind of like buzzwords now people attach to everything. But this type of technology just always been here. It's just throughout the years they attach language to it to kind of help either sell it or promote it to help people understand it.
Yes,
But you're not in this field. You're just like, ooh, a new buzzword. AI. Is there AI in my pancakes today? Wow, this is amazing. Like, wait, what? Maybe that's a little ridiculous, or is it? But
yes.
man, there's just so much going on. And like, it's just amazing nowadays that the integrations and things we can have and do that we couldn't do, say, like 10 years ago. Like, for example, with my business, I'm using it to help me like copyright, to help me look for trends for my business, and also help me find like clients and create videos, do content, things that you had to pay a team to do so many years ago. It was really expensive. You can even train it being like an executive coach if you give it the right prompts and stuff. It's really amazing how far everything is growing and coming along. I'm just really excited to see like the next 5, 10 years. Will it be utopian would it be actually something integrated in our lives where we're side by side and creating a wonderful, a better, freer world? Yeah.
That aspect, yes, we can influence it, but will be a lot in the hands of leaders and people that have the money to make differences. Because, yes, I can save, I don't know, 100, 200, 300 tokens per day. That's still contributing. But I can help, speaking about trustworthy AI, responsible AI, about digital dignity. So I can help understanding this concept, but I can't force a government to build a green program built within the collaboration of AI and human beings. We need leaders in the world to take action before it's too late, because I already think that is kind of too late, meaning that
I do too, a little bit.
the climate change is maybe still reversible. Maybe. Maybe there is a 20-30% chance that I think that in any case, it's appropriate to go after. But these are things that are really complicated for us to influence. I hope that I will find a way to better influence. And I hope that the visibility with this podcast that I'm doing will help me to be more of an advocate and becoming an activist on these things.
AI activist.
Wow, I love it.
Right. I love you brought up the leadership point, because my friend posted online the other day about this, about direction AI is going in, but yet we've always had a leadership problem in the world, and now AI is involved. That leadership problem seems to kind of compound itself more, but we need to be united on AI more than ever, because this is going to drastically make an impact on our entire world, our job, economy, everything. And the leaders really need to look at this. It's very important to have these conversations about this impact. Like, it's not just a tool we're using. It's something that's going to have a profound impact on lives, livelihoods. It's going to change things so impactfully that it's going to be like almost overnight before we realize what's happened. It's a little scary, but at the same time, we got to keep having these conversations and talking about it, help people think about it differently. Because I'm talking to you today, I thought about things that kind of change my mind the way I think about it too. I like to humanize everything and everyone. Wait, I can't humanize a machine. But I want to connect with it too.
I understand the sentiment.
Yeah, but I guess that's just me having a heart to connect with people, places, and things. I guess there does need to be a line to understand that these are machines right now. But I really have a feeling that can change almost overnight without the proper things in place, the leadership, and building these things.
Without the proper mechanism to monitor, understand, to control, to regulate, and to bring respect as a first-class citizen, also in the evolution of the technology, where respect is for the human being that is using technology. Let's put it this way: digital dignity by design.
Sorry, repeat that?
Let's put it this way. Let's say that we should aim for having digital dignity by design in every single implementation of AI.
I love that. Digital dignity. And that's such a profound thing to say, but at the same time, too, the people that are working on implementing and doing this, I always think, like you said earlier, AI is being built by other humans, and those humans can be good and bad or both. And I always feel that if you're not healed or haven't worked on yourself or haven't self-led yourself, and then you're working on AI, putting those things into it, that can have dire consequences on human beings. And then the AI has to figure out, well, which set of instructions do I follow? Is this the good? Is this bad? Maybe they both are. And that's very interesting to me right there. Understanding that.
It is, and it's still an open discussion. And there is another interesting research that is about mechanistic interpretability. That is how you interpret the signals that are coming from AI, and you make these algorithms understandable for a human being. That's another interesting field of research.
I gotta get more into AI. I'm like touching the surface on it, and I find it fascinating. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't know a lot. People think that I'm in cybersecurity and technology. Oh, you know AI too? I'm like, no, I'm still learning about it. I don't know a lot about it. I use tools and stuff. I gotta talk to guys like yourself, understand it more and learning about it. And they gotta start learning about it too. It's just so much to know and learn and understand.
It is. There is.
I might
Absolutely.
have to input some kind of chip in my head as AI powers so I can learn everything eventually. That
Yeah.
we are getting there, but I'm actually interested to see how the integrations with human beings come about. Like Neuralink is working out and stuff. That stuff fascinates me.
Hmm.
But then
It is.
will we no longer be humans anymore? What will we be?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't have an answer yet.
Yeah. It's just so interesting to think about,
It
Just
is.
to like that process of just thinking of what can be, but also thinking of what can be. Is it going to be good or bad? There's so much we don't know, but people think or claim they know everything. We don't know a lot. We
No.
don't,
We have a limited hard disk and very volatile RAM.
right? I need a reboot every 2 weeks. So I run out of disk space all the time. Well, Giorgio, I want to thank you so much for coming on here today. It's been a real pleasure talking with you. Appreciate your
Likewise,
time.
Justin, it has been fun.
Yes, before we go, is there anything you'd like to leave our audience with and how they can reach out to you as well?
Well, what I want to leave to the audience, to my audience, to our audience, actually, it's to start thinking about what digital dignity means for you and start to be vocal about it. They can reach out through LinkedIn. I'm pretty active over there. So my profile on LinkedIn is the easiest way to get in touch with me. Of course, I welcome everybody, but please don't just reach out to sell me something. If you want to sell me something, I don't know if I will answer, but if you have questions, if you want to follow up on any of the topics that I touched, absolutely, please be in touch. Don't be a stranger.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to put that in the show notes. I like how you brought that up because everyone's always reaching out. I think a lot of the time there's a lot of bots reaching out to try and sell you something,
Yes.
a lot of digital automation going on out there. It can be really frustrating sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And there's really no way to combat it except for don't be online, I
Or
feel.
decline. We should build an agent
That's a
to
lot of,
determine
a decline agent.
a
Yes.
decline agent for LinkedIn.
This is a new business proposition. Let's
Yeah,
just
I'm
write this
thinking,
down.
and take now.
Yes. I might have to get in on that with you.
Absolutely.
And before we go, I'd like to ask you one last question that I ask everybody on here. What does it mean to you to be a human being?
What does it mean to me, a human being? It's be kind, be useful, and be fearless. And I'm quoting Barack Obama here, but it's something that really resonates with me. If we just think a tiny bit more about be kind with each other, useful to each other, but still be fearless and make our point. Also, if our points, our statements sometimes can be counterproductive because maybe it's a diverging opinion, well, then that's what it means for me, being a human being.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us in the audience today. It's been a pleasure having you on here, Giorgio. Thank you so much.
You're
You have a
more
good
than
rest of
welcome.
your day.
Likewise.
Bye.